High school actually made me hate learning, bro. When I was 16, I remember being in the busted ass classroom of my English teacher. She asked a question about the reading that we did the night before. And this was one of the situations where I didn't raise my hand, but she called on me. So my heart immediately sunk, my stomach dropped because I had no idea what the answer was. I felt so embarrassed because she had to wait on me in silence while I was like stumbling, trying to think of the answer, and I just couldn't come up with it. And all of my peers and classmates saw that. And it was embarrassing for me personally, not because I didn't know the answer, but because I didn't know the answer even though I read the chapter the night before. It's like for years when I was reading books that I had no interest in, they just went completely over my head. Like I read them, but I couldn't retain any knowledge. I had no idea what I had read. I'd essentially wasted the last 45 minutes of my life reading this chapter. And when I was 16, I was convinced that's just how reading was. That's how learning was. I wasn't using any of this shit in my daily life. Why should I really try? Compare this to 2 years later when I'm 18 and I read this book, which changed my fucking life. This is You Were a Badass by Jen Sincero. And it's a pretty standard self-help, self-improvement kind of book, but it made me believe that if I really tried at something, if I really tried to learn and get better, I could do it. It gave me a growth mindset, and it changed every other part of my life. Made me realize if I wanted a 10 out of 10 body, I could probably get it. If I wanted to become a musician, I could probably do it. Content creator, sure. And more than that, it gave me the realization that learning from other people and from yourself can change everything for you. And what I realized from reading this book that I was actually interested in for the first time was that books aren't just entertainment for old people or for literature nerds. You find the right ones and they teach you exactly how to get what you want out of life. Whether it's close friendships, girls, money, skills, your dream body. Because what you have to understand, bro, that the education system never fucking teaches you. I think the education system is so fucked. But a book is the knowledge of someone's lifetime worth of study, condensed into a few hours. How fucking powerful is that? And if you aren't learning from the people who came before you, you're going to stay in the exact same place in life that you've always been. You're going to continue to be in this mediocre place that every person who hates learning continues to be in. But just important as learning from others is learning from yourself. Actually taking lessons from the challenges that you face every day so that you can overcome them quicker, easier the next time. And this is why I write down the things that I learn daily, which means I have well over 365 lessons from the past year. And I'm condensing down what I learned for you into 9. Because a man learns from his own mistakes, but a wise man learns from the mistakes of others. My hope is that you will hear about my mistakes and lessons and be able to make your own life better because of them without having to take the same L's that I have. Lesson number 1, and we are starting off with a doozy, bro, is let them. People are always going to say shit. Let them. You're never going to please everyone. You're never going to make every single person happy. As soon as you start living a life that you actually want to live, people are going to hate on you for it. The thing is, you can't focus on them. You have to focus on your crowd. Because as soon as you start letting other people's opinions define you, that is the moment where you accept a mediocre life. Because the social mirror is always warped. People are always projecting onto you their own hopes, their own dreams, their own desires, what they think is possible for them. That doesn't apply to you, bro. You start standing up for the things that you believe in. You start believing that you can go for bigger goals in life than the people around you. And people start saying shit to you. They start saying, oh, you can't do that. Or maybe it's these little passive-aggressive remarks like, yeah, maybe you could do it, but it'll probably take 10 years, 5 years. And if you really want to put in the work for it, if it's even worth it to you. Fuck you, bro. The thing is, you are going to get hate. You are going to get these passive-aggressive remarks. You are going to lose friends the moment that you start grabbing life by the balls and creating the life for yourself that you want. Even if your goal is to be more social, people are going to hate on you because you were different than you were before, and they're scared of that. But the thing is, when you don't follow what you actually want to do with life, you don't get what you actually want out of it. So it's like this trade-off you have to decide which path you're going to go down. One path, one decision that you can make is, yeah, I will live with less opposition. I'll get brownie points from people for being so go with the flow, for being so accepting and kind. But on this path, you also have to accept the fact that you will feel unfulfilled. Die knowing that you could have been more. Die knowing that you were a bitch in life. Or you can take the path that not many take because it's scary. You will upset people. You will have opposition. But it also means that you are standing for something. You are chasing what you genuinely, authentically want, and you will get the rewards from that. You will start giving your contribution fully and helping the exact people that you need to help. And you're going to feel so fucking fulfilled, bro, from this. And it's only embarrassingly recently that I feel like I've taken this second path. And from someone who's wasted years of his life, like me. I will tell you, bro, the second option is a much better one to live, because every day you wake up hella excited and fulfilled. I wake up at 5 a.m. easily now. For years and years, it was a struggle to get out of bed. I wouldn't get up until 9, 10, 11 if I didn't have something going on in the mornings. But now I don't have any specific deadlines, responsibilities, time I had to be up. I wake up at 5 a.m. every single day because I'm excited to. Because I'm excited to be out of bed. I'm excited to do this, to share the things that I have learned with you, to read the comments, to see the people that I'm helping, to be a part of this community. It's given me such a vigor for life. And the exact same thing will happen for you whenever you chase what you authentically want. But right now, it almost feels impossible because of this childhood trauma that you have suffered, right? You didn't have a perfect upbringing. I get it, bro. Because of this childhood trauma, it seems like upsetting people, upsetting your friends, your family. Going against the grain means outcasting. And to your monkey brain, being outcasted from this little tribe that you are in means death. And that's why it seems like such a big deal to you. It's because your fight or flight portion of your brain thinks you are actually going to die if you make this decision, when in reality, that's not true. So you have to overcome this cognitive bias and realize you are not going to die from this. Specifically, you have to realize life is better on the other side. And from someone who's been through it, the hate gets easier. I'll give you a quick story about me starting YouTube. I lost a lot of friends when I started. People who used to be my friends found out about my channel. They made fun of me. They called me a twink, told me my videos made them want to kill themselves sooner. What fucked up things to say, bro. And then my YouTube started to pick up a little bit. 50 subscribers, 100, 120. And I started to get comments from people online. And a lot of them are positive, and that's great. It feels really great to get a positive comment. Hearing that you've helped someone or changed their life in some small way. But every negative comment weighs on you so much harder. Someone telling you this is bullshit, this is cringy, psychoanalyzing you in the comments section. And honestly, for a period of time there, I didn't check my comments for months because I was scared. But after a time, I felt so unconnected with you, with my boys who watched this video, that I told myself I can't do it anymore. I can't stop running away from this. I have to face my fear so I know what people are saying so I can create the kind of content that people need. And so I faced it. And there are so many positive comments. There was so much love, and I have so much gratitude towards you in this community because you were so kind. But again, there were negative comments too, probably a ratio of about 7 positive to 3 negative, which is overwhelmingly positive. It's great. But the negative ones, because of negativity bias, always weigh so much more. And so it was hard. My self-esteem took a hit. But after time and time again of reading the negative comments and the positive, it got easier and easier. Until now, yeah, negative comments still do hurt. My heart still beats a little bit faster every time I start to read my YouTube comments, but it's gotten so much easier now. Someone hates on me in the comment section, I'm kind of like, okay, and? And the only way that I've gotten to this point where I'm able to shrug off the negativity is by exposing myself to it, right? By taking that action, by putting myself in the situation where it happens. You have to take that first step, bro, and you have to let them. Lesson number 2 is the biggest way that you are going to make progress is just to get the reps in. The thing that you have been stagnant in life in, talking to girls, being social, your career, whatever it may be, you're avoiding it because you were afraid to fail. And this habit has to stop if you want to see any success. Because failure is only temporary pain, right? Time still passes either way. The only thing that you are left with is the long-term consequence of the action you did or didn't take. The pain of regret is always worse than the pain of failure. It's the exact same in any part of life as it is in the gym. It's like saying, I don't want to get my dream body because it will hurt. Yes, it will hurt. Yes, you have to put in the time for it, but it gets easier for one, and 2, it makes you strong. You literally grow. You can handle heavier and heavier loads. You can lift more weight over time in any area of life. This is true. So when you are faced with a tough social challenge, do it every time. As soon as you get that voice in your head, that little voice in your head that's like, maybe I should approach this person. Maybe I should go talk to that girl. Maybe I should go talk to that dude. He looks cool. Maybe I should have this difficult conversation with my family. As soon as you get that little voice, walk. Take that first step, especially if it's scary, because that's how you know it's something that you're going to grow from. Whenever I moved back home to North Carolina from Nashville, where I was just living at, I knew that I was going to be living in this house, the same house that I had so many shitty experiences in, if you know my life story, where I had so much terrible mental health, And I knew the only way that I was going to be able to do it is if I improved my relationship with my family. I knew that I was going to have a difficult conversation with my mom and show her all of the parts of my life that I don't want to tell my mom about. I have sex. I make content. I'm very vulgar. I'm very exposing myself. I've had poor mental health. I don't want to admit these things to my mom, but I set a day and a time, and I woke up to her and I say, Mom, I'd like to have a conversation with you. And it's awkward. It's going to be awkward at first if you've never done this before. Of course, my voice was weak. My voice shook when I said those words. And it was so shaky during that entire conversation that we had. But I told her absolutely everything. And it probably shifted her perception of me. But I feel like I can be 100% with my family now. 100% with my mom. I don't have to hide anything anymore. And my mental health has gotten so much better for it. I feel so much more at home in this house that I live in because I took the step and had that difficult conversation. And now I feel like a more bold and decisive person because I took bold and decisive action right then. It's a skill that you level up by doing it, but you have to get the reps in. And you will fail. I said things in that conversation that didn't come out quite right. I was a little blunt in places where I probably shouldn't have been, but the only way that you get better is through failure. So stop using your brain for situations like this because people like you and me overthink, we overanalyze, and we never take action. Act on your social gut. Lesson number 3 from 2024 is if you aren't assertive and honest, you are wasting your time and theirs. No one is changed by an okay conversation. Find out who your people are by being honest, showing the authentic sides of yourself, the parts that some people might not like. Because when you do that, the people who do like these parts of yourself are going to latch onto you. They're going to say, holy shit, this guy is so authentic and honest. I love that quality about him. Tell the joke, make the approach. Talk about the things you genuinely love. Things other people might think are weird. For me, I'm still working on this, right? I don't always tell people I'm a content creator because it's very divisive. Sometimes people love that. They're like, oh my God, that's so crazy. Sometimes people are like, wow, that's so cringe. But that's fine. That's life. The only way that you are going to get to these people who love what you do, who love who you are, is if you find out also who dislike these parts of yourself. You kind of shoo them to the side. Another huge part of this is be honest with your worries and assertive with your needs. Because this gives you the space to actually talk about the shit that you need to get this psychological air on, that you need to get off your chest. Without it, you're just going to bottle shit up inside and isolate yourself even further. Allow others to help you because others want to help, right? It feels good to help other people. Imagine if you have a friend over and they're really thirsty, but they just keep looking at you. They don't tell you they want water. They're just hoping, they're playing games, hoping that you'll notice. Right? No, dude, just tell me you want water. That's the same with every other part of life. Let people know what you want and need because the people around you genuinely do want to help. Lesson 4 is surround yourself with people who are already doing what you want to be doing. When I moved to Nashville, I was surrounded by musicians. I had musicians who were starting to blow up, who were popular, that were just hanging out in my living room, just watching YouTube with me. And when you surround yourself with people who are doing what you want to do, you realize they're just people too. I could probably do what they're doing because they have flaws just like me. They're not perfect, just like me. When I lived in Italy, my roommate was a content creator. Just out of a random pairing of roommates, right? I got put with the content creator. And I got to know him a bit. I saw, wow, he's a person just like I am. If I wanted to be a content creator, I could probably do it. And he encouraged me to do so. Then not even a few months later, I met a model and a content creator on a plane. She was great. We had a deep conversation for about 4 hours and she hella encouraged me. Get into modeling and content creation. I didn't go the modeling route, but what this did was it got social proof on my side. I hang out with and get along with content creators. They're fun people. They're flawed people, just like me. And it led me to believe that I could do it in the first place. Once you hack social proof to be on your side, it's so much easier for your self-image to adapt quickly. And you know how powerful self-image is, bro. You know how powerful the things that you think about yourself, the beliefs that you have about you and your life affect what you're going to do. As soon as you surround yourself with these people, progress is going to skyrocket. Plus, you're around your 10 out of 10 crowd. These are never people that you feel like you have to settle around. People who you have to hide your true self from because they want the same things that you do. You are on a similar life path. And these people are out there. You just have to find them. Because think about it, bro. If there are a group of people who are into clown death metal, there are going to be people who are into self-improvement, business, social skills, whatever your bag is. And also our Discord is a good place to start. The fact is that you aren't that unique. And that's a good thing. It means you can find people with your similar interests. Lesson number 5 from 2024 is in all action, be bold and decisive. Because here's a fact of life for you, bro. It isn't the smart who win. It's the bold. It's true in getting girls, business, friendships. And the thing that separates the bold from other people is that most people make decisions slowly and then change them quickly. They're so wishy-washy. They set New Year's resolutions and then fail them. They say, oh yeah, I'm gonna start talking to more people, to have this incredible social life, start talking to girls. And then it comes to the situation and they don't do it. And every single time, it makes them feel like more and more of a bitch. When you become the man who is quick to make a decision and slow to change it, that is the trait of being decisive. And when you take bold action on the things that you decide, when you act in the face of fear anyway, huge change starts to come. Because there's one thing that you will find in common among every single leader and successful person. It is this trait of decisiveness. So make the move, bro. If you think you can kiss her, if you think you can ask her out, you've probably already waited too long. In every part of life, you have to act before you feel you are fully ready. Whenever you're 100% ready, it's too late because that time never comes. You're always going to feel unprepared. So whenever you're around the 40 to 70% mark, that's a good time. When it still scares you, act on it, do it. And again, you won't do it perfectly. You probably will fail time and time again, but that is how you get better. That is how you start to build up to the success. Lesson number 6 is that no one deserves it more than you. And I hate the word deserve. I always use it very, very carefully. But the fact is, you'll only get what you genuinely believe that you do deserve. You're never going to make more money than you do now unless you believe you deserve it. You're never going to put the work in for it. You're never going to get a better social life or talk to more girls if you don't believe that you already deserve to do so. If you believe that there are these other people out there, these other people who are so naturally charismatic, naturally charming. They naturally are just the kind of person who's born into a rich family, so of course they're going to make more money. They deserve it more than I do. Why would you put yourself down like that, bro? On the flip side of this, whenever you are able to believe that you genuinely deserve something, you will naturally take the actions that lead you to getting it. And I'm not saying just believe you deserve something for no reason. Believe you deserve a Lamborghini and it'll show up, right? That's fucking law of attraction bullshit. Because the fact is, you're not extra deserving. You aren't more deserving than any other person, but you have just as much chance of anyone else as putting that into your life. What separates you from others is that you act on your desire. You act on what you want, and because of the law of cause and effect. Not for no fucking reason, not because this is magic now that you feel like you deserve something, but because when you put in the work, you get the result. It's always true. If you go to the gym and eat right and sleep right, you will make muscle. There's no universe when you tire out your body to the necessary degree, when you eat the foods you need to eat and you don't grow. Just the same as there's no universe where if you work on social skills, you don't get better. If you put yourself out there time and time again and you fail and fail, you don't start succeeding. But you first have to have this belief that no one is better than you. No one deserves it more than you. Lesson number 7 is live life in seasons. Focus on one thing, make exponential progress, and then focus on the next. The only way that you are going to be successful in what you want to do is when you live life in this way, imbalanced, where you focus completely on one thing. Because when you cut out things that even are important to you, so that you can focus on the one thing that matters most, you become unstoppable. You can scroll back in my YouTube, bro. You can see that a lot of my old videos, I made music content. Stuff like, can you be a musician in 2024? My exact plan to blow up as a musician. Nashville changed me. And the fact is, I don't really play music anymore. It's not that I don't love it anymore. I love music, but I cut down my priorities. I went all in on YouTube. Cut down your priorities to less than 3. 1 is ideal, because whenever you do the things that others aren't willing to do, you get the results that no one else can. I like to look at it like this. For any success that you want in life that is more than mediocre, you are making a deal with God. You are saying, for these things that I'm giving up, for these sacrifices I am making, I'm willing to give to you in exchange for this success. So what pain are you willing to bear? What sacrifices are you willing to go through for the things that you want? Because the only way you really grow exponentially in something is if you put all of your focus into it. When you have a little bit of focus in the gym, a little bit of focus on your career, a little bit of focus on family, a little bit of focus on a hobby, it's really hard to make any progress in any of them. This is how most people live life. But you focus 3 hours a day on content creation and you get pretty damn good at it. And then once you're there, it's pretty easy to maintain that level that you're at. I focused for 5 years on music, and I haven't played music at all in about a year. But if I pick up a guitar, I could probably still play a lot of the old songs I used to. If I practiced for 2 good weeks, I'd probably be at about the same level I was at. Because I've already done it, I've leveled up that part of my life. Now it's easy to maintain. The hard part is setting up the systems first to get there. So focus only on the most important and exponentially grow in it. And then maintain it. And pick your next priority. Life lesson from 2024, number 8. This is the period you will be looking back on thinking it is the golden days. This can be true for any part of your life. But looking back, you remember all of the great things that you went through. And all of the challenges seem so small because they really are in the grand scheme of things. Whenever that one day was really tough for you, you probably look back and you barely even remember it. But in the grand scheme, you recognize and you're thinking, I overcame all of this. On the days where I didn't feel like doing my work, I did it anyway. I woke up early, even though I didn't feel like waking up early. Because even for these shitty parts of life, you will love the fact that you did the work. The only time when you look back on your life and feel like you wasted it are the periods where you don't do the work. So right now, bro, even though it feels shitty in the moment, these are the golden days. But only if you do the work. Lesson number 9 is you must choose your own direction. You cannot listen to anyone else who isn't where you want to be. Because if a person doesn't have what you want to have, their advice is just speculation if they haven't done it. It's like, don't take advice from the overweight guy on how to go to the gym. Don't take advice from your mom on how to start a YouTube channel. This means that a lot of the time you can't listen to your parents, your family, even your best friends. Now, that sounds fucked. Luke is saying, don't listen to my family. But bro, think about this. Every single decision that your parents, that your friends have made have led them to the exact spot they're in. And if you don't want to be in the same position as them, you cannot do what they have done. You have to do things differently. So actively choose who you take your advice from and learn from the best, right? Don't follow followers, follow leaders. And never be afraid to ask questions to these people. Because honestly, most people at the top, the best of the best, don't really get asked questions. People are intimidated by them. This isn't necessarily true of content creators because it's kind of our job to answer questions. But no, I was about to say that it's not true with us, but how many times has someone asked me how to be a content creator? Not a lot. Maybe once. All of my questions I get are about social skills, right? What to do in this situation, how to talk to this girl. But when it comes to what I actually do, the actual skill of content creation, of success, no one asks me about that. And this is true for every leader in the field you want to be in. If you want to be in sales, the very top salesman in your group does not get asked often for advice. When you are that person, when you are the person who goes up and speaks to them and forms a relationship, they're going to be more than willing to help you out. Because people want to help people. It feels good. Choose your own direction. Choose who you learn from and learn from the best. And I saved this bonus life lesson for last because it is a toughie. It is one that not everyone's going to agree with, but the one that's probably going to help you the most when it comes to the relationships that you have in your life. This life lesson is realizing people are made for periods of your life, not the whole thing. And your first reaction is probably, oh, that can't be true. There are some people who are made for all of your life. What about your life partner? This is especially true with love. Love comes and goes. It's a flow. And this is a good thing. When you get love in your life, don't expect it to stay forever. Even partners that you want to marry, right? People that you do end up working things out with and you think, I want this to go long term. At some point, one of you will die. And like, that's way in the future, right? That's something you don't even need to think about. Right now, you're just trying to get a girlfriend. But just keep this in the back of your mind that every single love experience will come and go. The point is to enjoy it while it is here and to let it pass when it isn't. But the thing is that love experiences are always good. Even if a relationship doesn't work out, even if it's an awful relationship and you feel like you quote unquote wasted 2 years of your life or however long it was, it's never a waste because you learn from it. That's the exact lesson you had to take so that you can go into the next relationship and make it better. You always learn something from a relationship and they are never a waste of time. The only time it is a bad thing is if you let resentment control you. By thinking, oh, this person did this thing that was awful. They hurt me in this way. My life is forever worse because they did this thing. Let it go. Realize you learned something. And the next one is going to be better. You will find love again because, again, love comes and goes. And you get to meet so many people this way, experience so many different kinds of relationships, and learn exactly what you do and don't want out of the person that you want to spend the most time with in your life. Because your life partner is the most important decision you are ever going to make. They have such an effect on you and the rest of your life. Of course, you want it to be a good one. And this is even true with friends too, right? People change. They aren't made for entire periods of your life. Even if you have incredible friends, best friends right now, people change. People may leave your life because you change. You don't want to stay the exact same person throughout your whole life because you're going to get the exact same results you've always gotten. Especially you, bro, someone who watches content like this. You're going to change a lot in your life, and this is good. If you no longer fit in with this one group of friends, with this group of people you used to, good. It means there's a new one out there waiting for you who couldn't accept you yet because you weren't the person they needed. But now you are. And they are waiting for you. But you have to make the effort to go out and find them. Another reason for this is because people move. And I'm not saying that distance is the only factor in friendships, but it is a big one. I'm not saying that you can't keep up with your old friends, but it's just the relationship shifts. The difference between seeing your roommate every single day, chilling out in the living room every single night, versus calling once a week. And there's still so much love there, of course, but there are always other people too. And you have to make friends in the area that you are in to be fulfilled. And the good news is that this is truth, that friends come and go for every single person, meaning you are not the only one looking for friends. Because with things like this, what tends to happen is when you lose something, you lose a friend, you lose a relationship, you tend to find it again. Or you find something even better the next time. Find the people who are ready for this period of your life. So bro, make your life in 2025 something completely different than it has been. By taking these lessons seriously, grabbing life by the balls and not wasting your time making the same mistakes that I have. Act now, bro, and become unstoppable.